we're hanging out with High Valley guys. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks for having us.
Good to see you guys again.
Good to see you.
Last time we talked, we were at Rock the Park.
Yeah.
London,
Ontario.
London, Ontario. You guys did a killer job that night playing. But we're kind of talking about something new right now, and that is Dear Life. How about that? Dear Life.
There it is.
Yeah, both sides.
You know, Dear Life is your new album. It just hit. How does it feel to get this one out? Because it is a little different than what you guys have done previously.
Yeah, I think growing up, we made a lot of very bluegrassy music, and for us, Dear Life feels not different at all, but exactly the same as what we always did. But we know that for a few years there, we definitely tried to fit in a little more with normal country radio and maybe chased it a little too hard. Now we finally put the brakes on and said, let's just make more stuff, kind of like Make You Mine, you know, kind of that bluegrassy stuff we grew up on, and that's what Dear Life is, and it feels a lot like home, honestly.
Well, I kind of pen it as a bluegrass meets pop country.
Yeah.
That you know, that's kind of what I remember the first time I listened through start to finish. I went, this is, you know, I would say yourselves and your counterparts at Warner, Washboard Union, kind of have that same sort of, you know, the banjo, the everything kind of coming in and playing together.
Yeah.
When you were writing this one, was that kind of a thought, or was it just we want to do what we want to do?
I mean, we were writing it pretty basic, honestly. A lot of times it was me stomping on the floor and playing an acoustic guitar, and then our producer and very frequent co-writer Seth Mosley would start playing some loop through the speakers and start programming different sounds. And he always makes things a lot cooler. And when I write, if you could hear the original version of these songs, they were very boring and very basic. And he always makes them a lot funkier.
It's so funny because as I was driving here today, that's what was going through my head is these songs I know did not sound like this when you guys first put them together.
Definitely. Yeah.
But you guys know my Mason Jar Sessions, the acoustic sound stuff that I really enjoy. I think it'd be really cool to hear what maybe those demos may have sounded like compared to what your outcome is. But
well, you know, a lot of our fans did hear the demos originally, and our fan club, we sent out 50 demos, I believe. I mean, this is already for the county line record, and they heard a bunch of iPhone work tapes and all that stuff, and they chose their favorite songs. And now on this record, we hit a bit of a brick wall at the end because we had
too many good songs, so we actually had to cut a bunch of songs that we love, and they didn't make it on the record. So
we basically had our fans vote on the final few on the Dear Life record to make sure the ones they chose made it on the record.
Now the title of the album, Dear Life, is this kind of like a thank you, maybe what you guys are saying?
I think it's a lot of things. First off, it started with my wife. I came home and she said, "Man, honey, our kids are growing up so fast. I feel like we're just hanging on for dear life." And I said, "Wow, that's a great song title." And we saved it for the beach trip. We do a lot of beach trips with our friends who happen to be co-writers, and they bring their wives and kids, and my wife and their kids and their wives all hang out, and us guys will go write a song every day and then hang out with our families the rest of the day at the beach. And so I told them about Dear Life, and we wrote it like a letter, like a diary entry. And Curtis and I both never had diaries, so now we wrote one, and we're letting everybody read it. So it is thankful, but it's also scared. You know, it's saying, what am I thankful for? What am I hopeful for? What am I scared of? All those things that you'd probably tell a diary, and that's what Dear Life, the song is, and that's honestly what the album is as well.
Yeah, because, you know, the minute I read the album title, I kind of thought, before I heard the music, that this was a, you know, kind of a thank you in a sense. So you guys have signed to Warner Nashville down in the U.S. Obviously, that brings opportunities south of the border. How has that gone for you guys so far?
It's been going amazing. We're just breaking into the top 20 right now down there, which is very, very cool. I know they're telling us that Emerson Drive, was the last time that a Canadian artist was in the top 20 when they had their song Moments 10 years ago. So that's really cool to be included in that group, and obviously Shania Twain before that. And It's just been amazing. The U.S. has been great. We've been in L.A. and New York so many times, but we've also been in Houston and Boston and Minneapolis and everywhere in between. A lot of Florida, which we don't get sick of.
The weather's pretty good there. So
We'll keep going back.
We live closer to Florida now than we used to live to the airport. So
Yeah, totally.
there you go.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's been pretty great. They sent us to the UK for the first time this last year, and that went amazing. Now we just announced our own headlining tour in Europe, and that, for whatever amazing reason, they're selling out in London and already talking about bringing us back a third time. And
Now, you guys were over there, if I'm not mistaken, last year for the country to country.
this
Yeah,
year,
that was
It
Sorry,
was the
that was
beginning
early.
of
Yeah.
2016. Yeah.
Sorry, it was a long year.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. We opened for Carrie Underwood and Sam Hunt, and we were literally on like 1 second before Sam Hunt started, and
Yeah.
we played like with the speakers behind us. It was so amazing. It was in the O2 Arena, and the fans. We thought we were like doing this brand new thing where we'd go there and introduce ourselves. Obviously, never been before, but people did their homework so well that they knew not only "Make You Mine."
They knew the songs that we had never even recorded, so they must have found them on YouTube and studied them, like
Really?
IBUB,
familiarized themselves.
IBUB, which is on the Dear Life record, we had not recorded yet, but we did have an acoustic version of it on YouTube from a radio station visit,
Yeah.
and we played it, and people were singing along, and I was so confused. Young Forever, they were singing along. It was unbelievable.
But do you think that's the power of social media maybe today?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. And it's the power of hungry country music fans. Like, these people were, like, starving for this stuff.
Yeah, they really want it. Well, I noticed there's artists like Eric Church, Cadillac 3, artists like that are now, embracing that
Yeah.
UK, and saying, yeah, I think that's some place we need to
It's
spend.
fun, man. Jaron from the Cadillac 3, I was just talking to him yesterday or the day before, and he actually wrote Roads We've Never Taken together with me and Tom Douglas, and those guys are great, man. They're smart to be out there in the UK. I mean, we made our music for the whole world. We didn't make it for Canada or the US or the UK or Belize. We've done 60 concerts in Belize, Central America, and we've played in India. We'll play anywhere. We want to tour in Hong Kong with Taylor Swift. That's our
That's
our goal.
Yeah, well, that's a good one.
Specifically Hong Kong.
Yeah, specifically Taylor Swift.
Yeah, totally.
So, putting this one together, you touched on it. You wrote with Jaron. Is there anybody else that you wrote with on this one? Because you guys, I'm going to guess here.
Yeah.
You were co-writers on every song.
9 out of 11.
All right, so I'm close.
You're 9 out of 11 correct.
Yeah.
You're 9/11th.
Yeah, I'm 9/11.
Now,
So,
what percent is that?
I
What
wrote,
was-
I wrote with Ben Stennis and Seth Mosley a whole lot, who you'll remember from County Line, Make You Mine, She's With Me, Love You for a Long Time, Rescue You. So we wrote together with Ben a lot, wrote with Seth a lot, and trying to remember who else is on this thing. They're all beautiful people. I gotta see this thing.
what other songs do we got on
Oh,
here? 'Cause-
man.
But like you said, you already had songs that you'd taken off because some
Yeah.
songs that were your favorites. Now, while you're doing this, will that, by any chance, your fan club get a chance to hear some of those songs? Is that an idea for later on down the road, or am I
Yeah,
trying to,
we've
am I trying
definitely-
to leak it too early?
No, we definitely talked about it. We haven't told them yet, but we're definitely talking about a cool way to let people hear those songs some way or another. We just need to figure out what's best.
Which one? Yeah, which way to go?
Phil Barton,
Oh,
who wrote
Phil.
Let It Be Me.
Crazy Australian guy, you can't
Jesse
bet with him.
Alexander,
Jesse, yeah.
who's a monster, amazing co-writer. These guys from Sweden called Money Bridge.
Okay. And where would you run into somebody like that? Because that's not a name.
Our
that-
producer Seth's wife is from Sweden.
Okay.
And then Jensen Vaughn, who's had a bunch of EDM success with This Is What It Feels Like for Armin van Buuren, and I know he's done a bunch with Britney Spears. And anyway, I came here to Toronto and wrote IBUB with Jensen.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Well, you guys, thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely incredible album. Like, you really have nailed it. Oh, actually, I do want to touch on one other thing. You guys are hitting the road next year
Yes.
with Dean Brody.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So maybe tell us, what you're excited for to hit the road. I mean, again, you haven't
I
come
just hope
off
Dean.
the road.
I just hope. Yeah, we're not coming off the road between now and then.
Yeah.
I hope Dean settles down a little bit. He's so obnoxious.
Kind of a wild dude.
Well, last time we were actually talking a couple weeks ago,
Just kidding.
and he was talking about maybe bringing 2 chainsaws on stage.
Really?
So don't be surprised.
I
if
did
he
hear
gets
rumors about that.
And
Yeah.
let me guess, he said it like this. Yeah, and maybe this time we'll bring out 2 chainsaws on stage.
Yeah, I was actually a little slower and more
Okay.
draw, but you're about
Oh,
right.
maybe.
But and then also touring with a few dates with Martina down in the U.S. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
we've been on that tour. It's been great. We still got a few more going on before Christmas, and
She's trying to fatten us up right now. After our shows, last show, there was like 20 cheeseburgers and a bunch of fries on our bus.
and she's
You-
in great
pizza.
shape, and she's just trying to mess us up to make her look better. But she's awesome, and we love her, and we love John, her husband. He's got amazing stories of all his years touring with Garth Brooks and just crazy stuff. But we love it. We're meeting new fans every day, and we're going back to Florida with her in a few days. So,
Yeah, can't complain.
no,
We like Florida.
Yeah,
love it.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you. Hi, Valley guys. Dear Life is the album.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
nailed it.
Nailed it.
Dear Life is the album. It's unbelievable. If you don't already own it, go to Google Play, iTunes, anywhere you buy your good music.
Walmart.
Walmart.
We'll see you at Walmart.
Walmart. It will definitely be on the shelves. And anyway, guys, thanks so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Awesome.
Every week's got a Friday.